I'm proud to announce that the channel is now sponsored by Advanced GG. And to celebrate, they're giving away free samples to 20 people who click on the first link in the description. When you decide that you love their clinically tested products as much as I do, use code Terrifier at checkout for 10% off your next order. Hello and welcome to another ARC tutorial. I'm Terrifier and today I have a list of 7 super useful consumable items that'll make your life easier. If you've ever wanted potions in ARC, this video is for you. If you enjoy it, consider subscribing for more content like this. At number 1, we have bug repellent. Bug repellent does exactly what you think it does. Repels bugs. But more specifically, it reduces certain creatures' aggressiveness towards you. Titanomyrma, Meganeura, and leeches will completely ignore you unless you attack them first. Spiders, bats, mantis, manta, and arthropleura will remain passive unless they're touched, which is super dope for taming or cheesing a cave.
I cannot see, I'm legally blind.
Surprisingly, the pachyrhinoceros prefers bug repellent over kibble, so you could tame one of those pretty easily too. You can craft bug repellent in a mortar and pestle or chemistry bench with 6 pelt, hair, or wool, 2 narcotics, 4 citronals, and 4 rock carrots. At number 2, we have medical brews and blood packs. Both items are designed to increase your health over time, but they have significant differences between them. Medical brews regenerate 40 points over 5 seconds, whereas blood packs give an almost instantaneous 15 HP. Blood packs can only be used once every 40 seconds, whereas med brews don't limit how many you can consume. The effect doesn't stack for med brews though. If you drink 5 med brews in a row, you won't get 25 seconds of regeneration or an increased regeneration rate. Instead, each medical brew you take simply resets the 5-second timer, so it's wise to space out each use instead of just spamming it. Blood packs are suitable for a quick one-time boost of health, and med brews are good for health over time, so use that information however you see fit. Medical brews are made in a cooking pot with tinto berries, narcotics, and water, and blood packs are made from a blood extraction syringe. Blood extraction syringes are crafted in a mortar and pestle, and once they're made, you'll have to use them on yourself to make blood packs. It takes 25 HP per blood pack, so make sure you're safe when you're making them. For number 3, we've got Mind Wipe Tonic. Mind Wipe Tonic is a Rockwell recipe that resets all of your stat points and engrams, so if you've built your character poorly or just want to punch really hard, Mind Wipe Tonics are for you. More specifically though, players use Mind Wipe Tonics to allow themselves to craft higher quality items from the various blueprints they've found in loot crates. For example, we have an Ascendant shotgun blueprint with a base damage of 325%. If you craft that without any points into crafting skill, you'll get the base 325% damage on the crafted shotgun. But if you use a Mind Wipe Tonic and max out your crafting skill before crafting it, there's a chance you'll get a much higher damage percentage on the finished product. When I say max out, I mean putting all of your available levels into crafting skill. You don't necessarily have to have a super high level character to achieve the same results. Typically, you can only use 1 Mind Wipe Tonic per 24 hours, but some servers will allow you to use them freely. Ask your server admin about it if you're curious. Mind Wipe Tonic is crafted in a cooking pot or industrial cooker by combining this giant list of ingredients with water. While it is a giant list of ingredients, it's still a pretty good consumable to have. Next up, we've got beer. Beer is a unique consumable item that gives you increased melee damage and increased damage resistance at the cost of rapid stamina depletion. These effects last for 2 minutes, after which your survivor will experience a hangover. Hangovers lock your stamina at 0 and prevent the effects of any stews like Lazarus chowder or Callian soup for 1 minute. This makes beer pretty much only good for PvP fights or running turrets because of the increased damage resistance. Defeat your enemy or place your C4 and flee before the hangover takes place. Of course, 2 minutes of increased resistance in ARC can be a long time, so it's up to you whether you want to collect your spoils before or after the hangover. Remember that beer isn't going to get you past massive turret walls, even with the best flak armor, so use your noggin before diving into a well-defended base. Crafting beer in ARC is a bit strange compared to other items. You'll need an irrigated beer barrel, 50 of any berry, and 40 thatch to make beer liquid. Beer liquid can then be combined with a water jar from the beer barrel's inventory to make a consumable beer jar. If you do a lot of PvPing and don't use beer, maybe it's time to think about setting it up. At number 5, we have Energy Brews. Energy Brews regenerate 40 points of stamina over 5 seconds, which means they work exactly like medical brews, but for stamina. Energy Brews are fantastic for outrunning creatures that are just barely slower than you, or for swimming long distances. They're kind of a special item that you'll only use in certain situations, but with the unpredictability of ARC, it's better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. You can absolutely blow through caves with a combination of bug repellent, energy brews, and something like focal chili, which increases movement speed. We talked about focal chili in our 7 movement items video, so check that out for more info. You can craft energy brews in a cooking pot or industrial cooker with owlberries, stimulant, and water, which leads us to number 6. At number 6, we have stimulant. Stimulant will decrease the torpidity of creatures and survivors by 40 points, but it also drains your water by 15 points, so it can very quickly dehydrate you if you take a bunch of it. I find stimulant most effective when engaging with an abundance of creatures that put you to sleep, like titanoboas and scorpions, but it can be used if you get ambushed by troodons or anything of the like. Since caves have the highest population of sleep-inducing creatures, I do recommend keeping a few on your hotbar for emergencies. I don't usually put many points into fortitude, so 1 or 2 hits from a scorpion or troodon and I'm out like a light. Stimulant has saved me from these situations so many times, and they're super easy to make. Stimulant is made in a mortar and pestle with stimberries and spark powder. You can achieve a similar effect from raw stimberries, but with a much lower effectiveness. A single stimberry only reduces torpor by 5 points, but reduces your water by 10 points, so it's significantly worse than stimulants. Still, they're good in a pinch. Last but not least, we have honey. Honey is interesting because it has a number of different uses. Firstly, and probably most importantly, honey can be thrown on the ground to attract nearby creatures to it. This is perfect for keeping crystal wyverns still for a moment while you jump on their back and tame them, or just to lead an animal into a trap you've set up. For this to work, you'll have to move the honey to your hotbar. Additionally, if eaten raw, honey provides the same amount of food regeneration as cooked meat. It can also give a pretty good amount of health if used in custom recipes too. Honey can be collected from wild beehives, but using a dire bear to harvest wild honey will gather it at twice the standard rate without harming the hive or aggravating the bees. Of course, you could just tame a giant bee and turn it into a beehive at your base for unlimited honey. Don't forget to use code Terrifier at checkout on Advanced GG's website for 10% off your order. Thank you so much for your time today, and we'll see you in the next video.